Okay, we're gonna do a little sheet pan supper tonight. It's Sunday, and I don't really feel like cooking much. The temperatures come down to like normal, so the idea of heating up the oven is not completely whacked. So we're gonna do basically cauliflower and potatoes and some sausage. First thing you need to do is cut up the cauliflower. You can do this any number of ways. I sort of try to take the core out here like this, and then basically want to just sort of make sure it's in kind of pieces that are roughly the same size. But again, you can do this as small or as little as you like. So that I'm gonna do it like that, and if you cut through the core like that and then sort of use your thumb to separate it, you don't wind up with as much cauliflower shrapnel. These things are perfectly edible. I don't particularly like them, but they're not going to hurt you. And if it's just too much of a pain to peel them off, don't worry about it. And all I'm doing, what you can't see, is off to the side is I'm throwing them on a cookie sheet. It's what's called a half sheet pan, basically a cookie sheet. And what I've done is I've put aluminum foil down on it. And the reason for that is less to keep the stuff from sticking to it, because I don't really think that's a problem, but frankly, cleanup. If you cover the pan with aluminum foil, when you're all done with dinner, take the aluminum foil off the pan, crumple it up, throw it in the trash, and the odds are you can just put the pan back in the cabinet. One secret here, aluminum foil comes in, at least the Reynolds Wrap crap that I buy at Costco, comes in regular aluminum foil, and it comes in heavy duty. You don't really need the heavy duty because you're not doing anything here that's heavy duty, but it is wider than the cookie sheet. So if you get the heavy duty stuff, it really makes sure that you're not going to have to clean up any part of the pan. So I'm going to stop this for a second and go get my potatoes. Right. So we got some potatoes. One thing about the cauliflower, I washed the cauliflower before I broke it up. Always wash your vegetables. Is that one vendor at the market has that sign, which you may or may not remember, that wash your vegetables. They grow outside in the dirt, and you basically just want to cut these up into pieces that are, say, roughly the same size as the cauliflower. So I'm going to cut these in thirds that way, and then half that way, and then throw them in the pan. And again, you can cut these any size you want. The key is you want them to be as close to, look, we're not getting any rulers out here. You want them to be as close to the same size as possible, because then you got a better shot of everything cooking at the same time. Okay, so this is going to be a simple one. We're just doing two things here for now. So here's what we got in the way of this, right? You can see that. So now it's pretty boring, right? You need to season this a little bit. So I'm going to start with black pepper. Remember what we've talked about with black pepper? Nope. Don't use that pre-ground crap. Do it this way. You can smell the difference as you're grinding it up. I mean, it actually smells like pepper. And while you may think I'm putting on a lot here, remember, this is cauliflower and these are just little red potatoes. They don't have a lot of flavor on their own. So we're going to put in the black pepper, and then we're going to take a good 3-fingered pinch of salt. Put that over there. Probably go in with a little more. Okay, now it's like dealer's choice. What else do you want to put on this? I happen to like a little smoked paprika, if I can open this thing. Can't they just make these things like openable? Because I guess we have to create more plastic crap to kill everything that's living in the ocean. I don't know. And then even once you get that not take tools to open a thing of paprika. Smoked paprika, right? See? We're just gonna, this has a nice taste to it, as we talked about. It also just adds some nice color to what is otherwise a pretty freaking white dish. Nothing that's wrong with white food, but garlic powder. This is not garlic salt. This is literally garlic that is dried and then ground up. It's got a very good, strong garlic flavor, and I like it. Where is the turmeric? Again, I don't know. It's supposed to do something for your brain. Whatever. I like the color. And how about some curry powder in this one? And I think last but not least, I'm going to put in a little, this is togarashi. This is ground Japanese peppers. You can put in a little bit of chili powder. You can put a little bit of cayenne. Again, don't go crazy with it. You can always put more when it's done. Last but not least, olive oil. This is just Spanish extra virgin olive oil that I buy in a jumbo size container at Costco. And it looks like, hang on. And because this is real cooking, you run out of stuff, and I had to decant some olive oil out of the jumbo container into the one that I keep to do stuff with. All right, so you get this, and you just get in here with your hands. Mix things around. Again, this isn't painting, right? You're not trying to necessarily get an even mixture on everything, but you don't really want a big mouthful of garlic powder or togarashi chili or whatever. So you mix everything up so it gets to a point where, to your eyeballs, it looks like it's there. And if you need to add a little more olive oil to it, add a little more olive oil. It's not going to get greasy. These things don't exude any fat when they cook, so you're not, it's not like you're cooking bacon or something. If you added a bunch of olive oil to it, that would be pretty unappetizing. Now, last thing, before this goes in the oven, I go through and, I'm not anal about this, but I try and do at least one of the cut sides of the potatoes down so you get a good crispy edge to it. I don't care which side, but you will get a nicer texture out of it if you take, the 60 seconds to do this. I also frankly do the same thing with cauliflower, because you wind up with a little, cauliflower doesn't really get crunchy, but you get a little sort of caramelization on that side that's in direct contact with a hot metal pan. It just makes a nicer dish. All right, so this is what we've got for now. This is going to go into a 400-degree oven for about an hour or so. After about 40 minutes, I'm going to pull it out, and I've got some sausage that I'm going to chunk up and just put in here, and that'll cook in the last 20 minutes. It'll also add a little flavor to it. So figure once you get this thing to this stage, you're about 60 minutes away from being able to eat. So I'm going to muck around with that, and I'll be back at you in a little bit. Okay, so this is what it looks like after about 35 minutes. Take a little, knife and sort of, yeah, they're pretty good there. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to move this out of the way. Bring back our cutting board, and in this case, I'm putting some sausage in this, which just works well. These are pork sausages from Darco. The red ones are spicy. The regular ones are not. They're just Italian sausages, or what he calls Italian sausages. Is it Croatian making Italian sausages? Who knows? You just cut them into chunks like this. Use chicken sausage, turkey sausage, pork sausage. You don't have to have any sausage. You can make it completely vegetarian if that's what you want. It really doesn't really matter. I mean, you need a little protein in here, so I've never tried this with tofu. I suppose you could do that. Interesting thing actually to think about, some tofu. You could do shrimp, but you have to do it for a really short period of time because shrimp only take about 2 or 3 minutes to cook. All right, so we got a bunch of chunks of sausage here, and we're just gonna literally just scatter them around the pan. I'm gonna put it back in the oven for about 10 minutes or so, and then probably just turn it off and let it sit till your mom and sister get home from the dog park. All right, Em, that's what it looks like. Sausages, potatoes, cauliflower. It works well with sweet potatoes, which you know. If you want to put broccoli in it, that works well. It takes about half as much time as the cauliflower does, but it's really quite good, oven roasted. Sort of any kind of root vegetables work well. It's a good one pan meal that you can basically put in the oven and like maybe even go to the gym. So we're gonna sit down and have some dinner. You can serve this like it is. TJ's makes a good pre-made garlic sauce that's good with this. Pesto would be good if you wanted to try that. Tzatziki, the sort of the yogurt, cucumber, garlic, dill sauce that's Greek, is nice. But it also really doesn't actually need anything. So enjoy it, and it's good. It's definitely good tomorrow. So try it. Love you. Have something else for you soon. Bye.